Hello friends and viewers, and welcome to my full armored Maitha character guide. If you are just here for a quick reference, I've created a pocket guide for the beginning of the video. Maitha's trait is Supreme Shield of Convallaria. She gains the Damage Buffer module and Sword of Convallaria Unite aura. Damage Buffer module is a secondary resource, a gauge with max buffer value equal to Maitha's max HP. A certain percentage of all effects that cause HP reduction is transferred to the buffer value, and when the buffer value reaches the maximum value, excess damage will still take full effect. Sword of Convallaria Unite is a Sword of Convallaria leader's aura innately in Maitha's trait. At increasing star level, the leader's aura will gain additional effects as well. At the start of Maitha's turn, she gains corresponding stacks of co-op charging based on her damage buffer module buffer ratio until the start of the next turn. Co-op charging stacks adds a 0.2 to 0.4% of Maitha's max HP to her physical attack, up to 100 stacks. In essence, this means HP is a secondary damage increasing stat next to physical attack. Maitha's rally command skills can trigger her rally response effects. Rally command skills ordinarily trigger rally response effects for other allies, but having this in her trait allows Maitha to trigger her rally responses independently. Her trait also increases her max HP, and at higher star level, the damage buffer module additionally transfers damage taken. She will also, at star level 5, reduce energy cost of casting or triggering any skill by 1. Here is a table detailing Maitha's growth at each star level. She has notable gains at star level 3 and star level 5. Maitha's initial skill is Whirling Hammer, a 1 energy cost 0 turn cooldown skill. Whirling Hammer deals piercing damage equal to 50% of her physical attack to all enemies within 3 tiles of her, and knocks adjacent enemies back by 1 tile. Whirling Hammer also has a rally response effect. When enemies exist within 3 tiles of Maitha, she can spend 1 energy and trigger this skill. At rank 1, I recommend Bulwark Charge. Bulwark Charge is a 1 energy cost 0 turn cooldown skill. Maitha selects a target, an ally, enemy, or object and performs charge. If the selected target is an enemy, Maitha charges to their side and deals piercing damage. As an auxiliary passive effect, Bulwark Charge increases Maitha's movement range by 1 tile, and after performing an active attack, she may move again for a distance equal to her remaining movement. Additionally, learning Bulwark Charge is necessary to unlock the SP skill for original Maitha. Crystal Burst Twin Shot is a 2 energy cost 0 turn cooldown skill. This is a single target attack that deals piercing damage. If Maitha is positioned in the same line as the target, she will additionally knock the target back by 2 tiles. After attacking, Maitha removes 50% of her current buffer value, then follows up with piercing damage to all enemies within a 1 tile radius of her, and knocks enemies adjacent to the target back by 1 tile. Long term, neither ability will be a regular part of Maitha's skill loadout. Bulwark Charge is recommended for the passive HP increase and to unlock the SP skill for original Maitha. At rank 3, I recommend Peak Performance with the Castalia for Emergency Toolbox. With Peak Performance, at the end of Maitha's turn, she additionally recovers 1 point of energy. If her energy is 0, she will recover another additional 1 point of energy. For the rally response effect, Maitha will trigger 1 instance of this skill's passive effect. Emergency Toolbox is a decision skill, selecting between Field Repair Unit or Enhanced Charging Unit. Field Repair Unit removes 50% of Maitha's current buffer value, recovers 30% HP, and gains Damage Reduction 2, Regeneration 2, and Healing Receive 2 buffs. Enhanced Charging Unit fills 50% of Maitha's max buffer value, gains Attack 2 and Immunity to Disrupt buffs, and also gains 50 stacks of co-op charging. Having Emergency Toolbox helps sustain and maintain her resource bar, as well as granting a suite of buffs for offensive or defensive play. At rank 5, I recommend Reinforced Joints. Reinforced Joints makes Damage Buffer module additionally transfer damage when Maitha has regeneration buffs, converting every 10% regeneration effect to 5% buffer ratio. This stacks with the damage reduction in her trait. At the start of Maitha's turn, she will also gain a Regeneration 1 buff. Spiky Shield decreases active damage taken by 10%. When Maitha receives an active melee attack, she performs a strike back, dealing piercing damage, scaling with her physical defense. At rank 7, I recommend Full Armored Attack. Full Armored Attack is a 4 energy cost, 0 turn cooldown skill. Maitha selects a target location and deals piercing damage to all enemies within 3 tiles of the target. After attacking, 50% of her current buffer value is removed. After attacking, all allies in the Sword of Convallaria faction performs an additional rally response, dealing piercing damage equal to 50% of their physical attack and magical attack to enemies within 3 tiles of them. For those allies, this is considered out-of-turn damage. Field Medic is a 3 energy cost, 0 turn cooldown support and healing skill. Maitha removes all buffer value, heals allies within 3 tiles of her for 20% of their HP, and grants them Attack 2, Defense 2, and Regeneration 2 buffs. For its auxiliary passive, Maitha takes damage for all allies within 3 tiles. After taking damage, if damage buffer module is full, Maitha removes 30% of her current buffer value and recovers 30% of her lost HP. This can trigger up to 2 times per round. Full Armored Attack functions as Maitha's core energy spender in a regular gameplay. Should you opt into a supportive playstyle for your Maitha, you may consider Castalia for Field Medic. At rank 9, I recommend Arm Slam. Arm Slam is a single target attack dealing piercing damage. Note it also has the rally command tag, so it can trigger Sword of Convallaria allies' rally responses. Feverish Attack deals physical damage and gains lifesteal. While Arm Slam better aligns with Maitha's piercing damage profile, it is worth noting that Feverish Attack has a 2 to 3 tile range, whereas Arm Slam is only 1 tile. At rank 11, I recommend Full Armored Maitha Attack. Full Armored Maitha Attack increases Maitha's speed from 243 to 443. Additionally, at the start of the round, Maitha fills all buffer value. This effect has a cooldown of 3 turns. Field decreases AoE damage taken by all allies within 3 tiles of Maitha by 25%. This is the same skill we are familiar with from other units such as Momo and Papal Ice Priest. Full Armored Maitha's SP skill is Maitha's Combo. To learn this SP skill, original Maitha must have learned Maitha's Combo at rank 11, and Full Armored Maitha must be star level 3. This version of Maitha's Combo is similar to the original variant, but instead of dealing physical damage, Full Armored Maitha will deal piercing damage. It is a single target skill with 1 tile range and will knock targets back by 3 tiles, but it is set back by having a 4 turn cooldown. While it may be useful for any stages where knockbacks are valuable, this will not be a regular part of her skill loadout. For a general build recommendation, this build focuses on high speed, self-energy recovery, and Full Armored Attack as Maitha's core energy spender. At star level 5, as Maitha's energy costs reduced by 1, consider substituting either Full Armored Maitha Attack or Peak Performance for her Whirling Hammer initial skill to output more damage. Maitha's Astral Imprint is Supreme Assault Blade. This weapon increases max HP by 20% and increases damage and piercing damage by 10%. Before Maitha's rally command skills trigger allies' rally response effects, she grants them Supreme Armored Assault. Supreme Armored Assault is a buff that increases damage and piercing damage by another 10% as well. HP and damage increases are transferable qualities for other units, but other units have more competitive options for damage and will not be able to use the rally command portion of this weapon. For weapon recommendations, other than Supreme Assault Blade, Feast Axe and Tuning Hammer are accessible options for Maitha. Feast Axe has a greater attack increase when attacking enemies with lower HP percentage than Maitha. Tuning Hammer grants a passive 10% physical attack increase, and when used with Maitha's AoE skills, can regularly mass dispel enemy buffs. For trinket recommendations, Shield of Justice and Origin Hourglass's attribute increases are always reliable if you have these trinkets to spare. Resonant Crystal is another great option pre-star level 5, using the HP sacrifice for her damage buffer module and the energy restoration for her high energy cost skills. Crystal Burst Armor can be considered for the HP increase, thereby also increasing Maitha's physical attack. For Terra recommendations, given that Maitha has a full piercing damage profile, consider Murmur of Death for the flat piercing damage increases. Otherwise, consider Fool's Naivety for the HP increase, thereby increasing her physical attack and damage output. On any maps with high target count, ranging from allies, enemies, summons, and NPCs, it is always reasonable to consider Temptation of the Devil. For Engravings, Sword and Wand remains a reliable option for the attack and defense increase after moving. Prioritize physical attack and HP engravings. For a quick overview of external category buffs, Dentalion's For Area Aura grants 20% more damage to enemies with 3 or more debuffs. Unfortunately, this does not apply to Maitha's piercing damage. Ralvia's Sword of Convallaria Aura increases damage dealt and decreases damage taken by 8%. Overall, only a small gain to mitigation, as the damage increase also does not apply to Maitha's piercing damage. Magnus's Blood and Steel Aura reduces damage taken while healthy and grants immunity to the negative effects of injured, improving overall survivability. Aisha's Moonlit Hills Aura further increases attack and defense by an additional 8%, while also reducing damage taken while healthy, similar to Magnus. That concludes this character guide. If you have any feedback to share, please leave a comment below. I'm always open to listening and learning, and I don't mind being wrong. I'm another player improving and exploring more of Sword of Convallaria just like you. Remember, if you come across information that conflicts with other guides or content creators, it simply means there are multiple ways to build a character and still achieve success. I also want to credit the Sociage and Billy Game fan sites for their data mining, skill descriptions, and art assets. If you enjoyed this guide, please consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope to see you in the next one.